In this video, we're diving deep into the life of the man who redefined defense in Egyptian football, the pharaoh of the backline, Wael Gomaa. From humble beginnings to lifting trophies for Al Ahly in Egypt, we'll uncover the gritty battles, the locker room secrets, and the career-defining moments that made him one of the greatest defenders in African history. But there's a side of Wael Gomaa the cameras never caught, and that's exactly what we're revealing today. Chapter 1. The Stone Wall from Garbia. Wael Gomaa was born in the small village of El Sembalan in Garbia Governorate in 1975. He wasn't born into a football dynasty, nor did he grow up in a major city with scouts lurking around every corner. But like most Egyptian kids, he fell in love with the game in the dusty streets and schoolyards. Early on, it was clear Gomaa wasn't flashy. He didn't have the flair of a striker or the rhythm of a winger. But he had something else: discipline, power, and an almost unnerving calmness under pressure. That calmness would become his deadliest weapon. He began his professional journey with Ghazal El Mahala, not the biggest club in Egypt, but the perfect place to develop quietly. He wasn't a player you'd notice in highlight reels. But coaches knew, with Wael Gomaa, your defense was safe. In 2001, at age 26, most players would have already peaked. But that's when fate knocked on his door. Al Ahly came calling. Moving to Al Ahly wasn't just a step up. It was a leap into the footballing elite. The pressure was intense. You don't just wear the red shirt. You carry a legacy. But Gomaa didn't flinch. Under the legendary Portuguese coach Manuel José, Gomaa became the foundation of one of the most dominant eras in Egyptian club football history. Between 2001 and 2014, Wael Gomaa helped Al Ahly win 6 CAF Champions League titles, 8 Egyptian Premier League titles, 3 Egyptian Cups, 6 Egyptian Super Cups. Think about that. He turned Al Ahly's backline into an impenetrable fortress. He wasn't just a center back. He was the gatekeeper. And it wasn't just in Egypt. His reputation spread across Africa like wildfire. Let's rewind to 2006. Egypt was hosting the Africa Cup of Nations. The team was under pressure, the kind of pressure that can break players. But in the heart of the defense stood Wael Gomaa, unshakable, relentless, ice cold. Egypt didn't just win that tournament, they dominated. Gomaa was named in the CAF team of the tournament, and he repeated that feat again in 2008 and again in 2010. 3 consecutive AFCON titles, an achievement that only a handful of players in the world can claim. And Gomaa was at the center of it all. It's no exaggeration to say, without Wael Gomaa, that Egyptian golden generation may have never existed. But here's what most fans don't know. Wael Gomaa wasn't the most naturally gifted athlete. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the tallest. He didn't have the technical finesse of European defenders. So how'd he dominate? Gomaa had to fight harder. He studied strikers like a scientist. He knew their moves before they made them. He compensated with positioning, reading the game, and timing his tackles to perfection. His mental strength was terrifying. In the 2006 AFCON final against Ivory Coast, Didier Drogba, one of the deadliest strikers in the world, couldn't get past him. That wasn't luck. That was Gomaa's intellect, grit, and obsession with perfection. Success has a price. Behind the scenes, Gomaa was known for being brutally demanding, even with his own teammates. He didn't tolerate laziness. He was vocal in the locker room. He clashed with players who didn't meet the standard. Some called him too strict. Others called him a leader. But no one ever called him weak. One famous story? During a Champions League semi-final, a younger teammate made a defensive error. Gomaa didn't yell. He didn't shout. He walked up, looked the kid in the eyes, and said, "That mistake? It won't happen again." It didn't. There were rumors European clubs were watching. There was talk of a move to the Premier League or La Liga. But Gomaa stayed. Was it loyalty? Timing? Maybe both. Many believe he could have succeeded abroad. But Gomaa always said, "What matters is what I build here." In Africa, in Egypt, In an age where everyone dreams of Europe, Gomaa became a legend right where he was planted. In 2014, Wael Gomaa hung up his boots. But he didn't disappear. He became a football analyst. His voice, just like his defending, was sharp, insightful, and fearless. He didn't sugarcoat opinions, and fans loved it. He also joined the national team's staff briefly and remained a respected figure in CAF and FIFA discussions. But perhaps his greatest legacy? Inspiring a generation of defenders who learned that you don't need to be loud or flashy or even fast to become a legend. But here's the question that divides fans even today. Was Wael Gomaa the greatest African defender of all time? Some say yes, citing his trophies, his leadership, and his sheer dominance. Others argue he never tested himself in Europe, that he stayed in a comfort zone. It's a debate that raises a bigger issue. Can a player be world-class without playing in Europe? Let's unpack that. Gomaa's record speaks for itself. The only player to win 6 CAF Champions Leagues with one club. He shut down world-class strikers like Drogba, Eto'o, and Adebayor. He was named to the CAF Team of the Year multiple times and was one of the most respected defenders across the continent. Yet, the absence of a European chapter keeps him out of many global lists. But think of this. Staying in Africa, in a league with fewer resources, harder conditions, and less spotlight, and still dominating for over a decade. That takes something rare. It's easy to chase fame, harder to build a legacy. Gomaa chose legacy, and perhaps no moment defines Wael Gomaa better than this. The 2008 AFCON final. Egypt versus Cameroon. The indomitable Lions were pushing hard. Samuel Eto'o was hunting for that one killer pass. The Egyptian midfield was beginning to crack. And then, a Cameroon winger breaks down the left. Cross incoming. Eto'o sprints into the box. And out of nowhere, a clean, perfect, bone-chilling slide tackle. Wael, freaking, Gomaa. That tackle silenced the stadium. It wasn't just a defensive move. It was a declaration. Not today. Not ever. Egypt won. Gomaa lifted another trophy. And African football had just witnessed one of its most iconic performances. Wael Gomaa wasn't born a star. He built himself brick by brick, tackle by tackle, trophy by trophy. He didn't care about fame. He cared about honor. He didn't chase headlines. He created history. And whether or not the world recognizes him on global lists, in Egypt, in Africa, in the hearts of every Al Ahly fan, Wael Gomaa will forever be the wall that never fell. If you think that tackle was epic, wait until you see what Mohamed Aboutrika did in the same tournament. Click the next video now.